I wanted to hop on here quick and do a quick update on Charlotte Dujardin and what her suspension was and the ramifications of what we talked about over the summer. So if you haven't watched that video, I'll link it below. But basically over the summer, what happened is right before the Olympics, there was a video that came out of her basically whipping a horse in a training session with a student. And the video was released right before the Olympics came out, and right before the Olympics, and she ended up not attending, not riding in the Olympics due to the ramifications of this video. So it was under review, but it has just recently come out that she has received a year suspension. So I wanted to hop on here quick, tell you my thoughts about whether this is enough of a suspension, what this means for the sport, and a few other things that have happened since this suspension has come out. So she ended up getting a one-year suspension from competition. She has also come out and made statements about how she has really changed her thinking and her thought process and how she wants to go about training in the future. But I think this is a little challenging because this video is from several years ago and we don't really know if that's actually going to play out, if there's other things that could come forward. So that's something that we're just gonna have to stay tuned for going forward. Now, is it enough? I'm not really sure. I think this is kind of a new thing that we're seeing happening with people capturing videos of circumstances like this and figuring out whether being called out publicly for these things is going to stop this behavior from other trainers and other instructors. The thing that I think is so sad about this is there's so many riders that look up to these professionals and they use them as sort of a guiding light as to the kind of horsemanship they want to have with their horse. So I think it's important for pros to remember that there's a lot of people that look up to them, that wish they could ride like them, train horses like them, and you really are setting the standards for the industry when you're in that sort of position. It's also come out in the last few weeks that British show jumping is removing the use of whips for punishments. So you're still able to carry a whip, you're still able to use it. I believe it does have to be a padded whip, and you're not able to use it for a punishment. Now, what exactly does that mean? Basically, using it as a punishment would be if a horse goes to jump a fence and refuses, the rider would take the whip and smack them behind their leg one time, and that would be considered a punishment. So they're no longer going to be able to use them in competition in this way. So I do think that if this came out of that video, then this is a huge win for the welfare of horses in our sport. So I'm really excited that this did come out of this whole negative experience. So let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Should the suspension have been longer, or is this enough? I'll see you next week.